And welcome back to White Claw Wednesdays, episode 115.
115.
115.
Yeah,
That is just, oh man, rolls right off the tongue.
it does. Oh,
Let's crack these. They're actually cold for the first time in a while.
nice.
I remembered.
Iced tea mango is the one you don't like, right?
That's true. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of most of the iced teas.
Yeah.
They're just not hitting lately. You know, they hit when we first tried them, but
I
ever
think
since then, they've slowly degraded.
we're just tired of the gimmick. Dude.
I think so too.
It's an unnecessary addition almost, you know? Because it's
I
like,
don't know.
you know what's funny? I taste it, like right now. I take a sip of this, and immediately what I think is, like, man, I love that mango flavor, but I wish it didn't have the tea.
Exactly.
I wish it didn't have the tea flavor.
I agree.
Because that's what
I
it comes
agree.
in. It comes in at the very end. It's the
It's
aftertaste.
almost I don't know. It's like unnecessary bitterness, if that makes sense.
It is, yeah, very much.
All right, are you ready to do a round two what we did last week? Because I'm gonna pound this right now.
Bring it down to the last sip.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, let's do it. Bring it
Or
down
at
to
least
the
like 3/4 of the
few
way.
sips. All right, let's do it. Ready? And
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Down the hatch.
Okay.
All right.
Oh man, got the water in the eyes.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Whenever
And we're ready.
whenever I chug something,
Yeah, I love how
I
we're
can-
both crying right now.
yeah, I can always feel the sensation of, okay, open your throat. But I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't, like,
I don't know what you mean.
okay, have you seen people that can really chug? Like, I'm talking like
yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah,
put
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
away.
Some
Like,
people
it
just
disappears down their throat.
I don't know how they
And-
do it.
They're doing something where they say open your throat. And I felt it when I've been chugging before, where I felt that sensation of I know what they're talking about. Like, I can literally feel. Imagine it's almost like closing a big old door that like comes down on a castle, comes down straight down.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel that in my throat. I can feel that section. I don't know what it's called,
Yeah.
but I can feel like I wish I could open it. Because
know
I
exactly what you're
feel it
talking about.
opening as I take in a gulp. Like, I feel it. But I have to open, close, open, close.
It's like you
open,
constantly have to seal it off.
close. And then
it's
open
just,
it. It's like too much. You can't.
I don't know. It's reaction that you have. You
But
know?
it's like the people
It's like
who
you're
are
protecting yourself.
the greatest chuggers in the world. They're able to. They've trained their body to where they don't have that instinct.
Do you think it's training, or do you think it's just some people are born with it? Kind of like some people can.
Kind of like double jointed.
Do you like to talk it with their tongue, and some people can't? You know?
I like to think it's a double jointed thing.
Me too.
Because I really think, like, if it was something as simple as, oh, open your throat, bro. Like that's what you hear, and it's like, well, I can't. Like, I don't have that. Like, I don't have that ability. Like, it's like I can do this with my finger, where like I like, you know,
yeah.
that's like a double jointed thing.
What are you doing? You're popping your.
I'm popping it at the bone right there.
Oh wow. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm
Yeah.
not double jointed at all.
So this is what I mean. Like, I feel like it's just like that's useless. Like, I can't chug a beer with this.
That's true.
But I think someone who can do that whole thing where they can open that.
I wouldn't say that's useless though.
Ah, good one.
Thank you. For people on audio, you wouldn't get it, but I just made a dirty joke.
Ryan just made a dirty joke. It's like, have you seen that meme of with Zendaya and Tom Holland, of Tom Holland doing like the interview question where he's talking about how he like shoots the web?
Yeah,
And Zendaya
they
like
both
looks
look
at
at each other and they're like,
She looks at her,
"You do that.
looks at
You
his
do that
fingers.
right now."
That's
Dude,
funny.
I love watching their interviews. Honestly, I feel like I've watched all of them at this point. They're just so cute together.
I love that, right,
Uh-uh.
Ryan? I just like that for you because you're like,
What?
you're about to get married and stuff, and you're just appreciating another couple that's like,
I do, and I appreciate how they can do interviews together.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I can only relate to being in a relationship that the first time you're sort of out in public together, you know, it's different. It's like you have to
Yeah.
learn how to react or how to interact in public setting and then behind closed doors.
and
you
then
know,
it's a whole nother level for celebrities though.
Yeah, because it's everywhere.
Because now
you
not
have
only are they
people like me watching you.
Now,
you know?
exactly. Now, not only are you stepping out as a couple for the first time, but
Yeah.
you're stepping out as a couple that most people know. You
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's
oh, yeah,
almost
yeah.
like, you know what it's kind of like. I think why
Mm.
like the celebrity lifestyle is chased after, is because it's almost like being the popular kid in high school for all your life.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, it's true.
Like there's those school events that you could go to, and you and when you were the shit, and like you show up there like, oh, like quarterback's like dating like this person now, and he showed up to the dance with her on his arm, and I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like, but like in order to have
cool.
in order to have that post school like adult life, that's like being a celebrity.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't know. I don't know what the motivation is like as a young person when you're like. I feel like everyone kind of has that, you know, of like, oh, I want to be famous or I want to do something huge.
Yeah,
you know.
It's like you want to be remembered.
You want to be remembered.
You're
exactly.
trying to create a legacy. You know, you're trying to be on people's minds after you're dead who you didn't know.
Say that again.
You're trying to be on people's minds after you're dead who you didn't know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's 100%
right. That's like the ultimate level of highest legacy.
That's like legacy right there.
Yeah,
that's the definition.
That is
that's Frank's definition.
That's my definition of legacy. People remember you who you never knew yourself.
After you die.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
It's cheers to that.
Another one of Frank's great quotes.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of people that...
Oh, my God. I chugged a double protein shake before this.
Yeah? Okay. I think this is a good transition what we have here with this whole celebrity thing.
Okay.
Because I'm transitioning it into Kylie and Travis changing their second child's name.
Kylie and Travis changed their second child's name? I didn't hear about this.
Well, they haven't announced their new name yet, but they're like, it's not Wolf anymore.
It was Wolf.
They named it, you know, Wolf Jacques Webster, because Jacques is Travis's real first name. They're changing it from Wolf, and I don't know whether, like, I like to joke around and, you know, poke fun, but is it the hate online that they got? Like, all the hate online? Because, you know, you always get hate online.
That's true.
That's just the way it is, you know?
Oh, man, my stomach's really upset with me right now. Okay, go ahead.
Because you chugged 2 protein shakes and then you chugged a White Claw?
And the White Claw.
Okay. What kind of upset are you getting with your stomach right now? What kind of upset is
it's plant-based protein, so it always kind of gives me a little bit of a reaction after I drink it. Mm-hmm. But this time it's sort of causing me a little pain.
Okay. Yeah.
I had just worked out right before this too. Like you saw my red shirt on. I was all sweaty in that.
Yes. Okay. And you changed into that.
This has airflow.
Hit your work. So you're a workout post. You like your workout post work.
I'm a
pre-work.
Post-work workout guy. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
See, that's tough.
It is tough, especially when you just sit down all day, like when you work from home, like I did today.
Well, yeah, but
it is tough.
Like work, like no matter what work you're doing, I think doing a workout after working is
100%,
probably
100%.
a lot harder. Because you think about like you're like, okay, I'm done with my day now. Now I'm gonna go lift heavy things.
There's really never a great time to work out because when I lived in San Francisco, we both lived in San Francisco. I used to wake up before work.
Yes, I do remember
and
that was
commute
schedule,
downtown, work out, and then go to work.
Yeah,
and wow,
that's a day.
That
is a full
honestly
day.
That I gotta say that was harder than after work. I think.
Okay.
Because some days you don't get good sleep.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but I had to commute. So then I was in the Muni for like
not only were you commuting
sometimes.
to work, but you were also commuting to your workout before work. So you had like a double.
I was commuting to both really because they were right.
They were right by each
close,
other.
They were close, yeah.
But it's still like I think there's something to be said for having a home gym and being able to roll out of bed, work out in your home gym, shower, and then head to work. Compared to like getting like your workout clothes on, packing a bag of your work clothes, then commuting to the gym, working out, showering at the gym, and then changing into your work clothes and then going to work. That's like holy shit.
I used to man, I'm insane. I think back on this time and I'm like, wow, I was just so used to being just on the move 24/7,
busy all the time,
just not having to worry about anything but just the next thing that I was doing, and I think I was like addicted to it in college. I was like, when I'm sitting there and I have free time, I'm like, what am I doing with myself, And so when I went to San Francisco, I was like, okay, I am going to work now, and I go to work and I'll work out and I feel good, but like, what else? I don't know, like I have all this time after, And so then I started going to school. So some days I would literally wake up at like 6 a.m., commute to work, but really go work out.
Yeah.
Work out for an hour, then work until like 4:30. And then I'd have 4:30 until 6, until my first class. And my class was from 6 to 9:30. And then I'd get home at like 10 p.m. and I'd go to sleep and I'd do it again the next day. For 3 days a week. 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
It wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Now, do the other 4 days during that time, like your busiest time, would you say like the moments when you got free time and you were like sitting like relaxing, like you were in a relaxed moment?
It felt so good.
Did it feel good? So you weren't like,
because I was like, I deserve this.
Okay, you were able to, because sometimes I feel like some people in that kind of schedule you're talking about, when they get to that point of like, this is my relaxation time, their brain isn't rewarding them with like, oh, you deserve this. It's more like, you should be doing something right now. Like, why aren't you doing something right now?
I think I was always at the point where I was so I don't want to say exhausted, but I was just so tired of being on in my brain that when I got a chance to shut it off, it would immediately just shut off, and I would just be zoned in. You know,
I think that comes from your change as a person. You know, because you used to be one of the greatest chillers ever. Like you could roast roast in your bed with your laptop like nobody else.
Yeah,
know?
I did. Anyways,
Minecraft for hours and stuff. But now
I didn't.
Once you hit that work hard mode, it allowed you to still go back to your roots of chillaxing. I feel like the people I'm describing who get in the zone of like doing something every second, and then when they get a pause, they're like, "Oh my god, why am I not doing something?"
Right.
I think they've been doing something every second their whole life.
Those are like the people like Kevin Hart and The Rock or something.
Yes, exactly. Those kinds of yes.
You have to be a special human.
Yeah, or like
to accomplish that stuff.
like a Mark Wahlberg, you know, up at like 2 a.m. You know, those kinds of. I like how we're just naming actors, but it's like there's probably a ton
millions of other people.
There's billions of other people working just as hard as that.
Scientists, other people.
Scientists doing this. Like basically anybody who works at Tesla, apparently.
Oh yeah, they're hard workers.
I found out that they work like 12 hours.
You know,
a day.
Justin used to work at Tesla. Right?
That's where I got my inside scoop when he told me the shift he had at Tesla was something like
he worked
6
the graveyard.
PM. He was 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. or something like that.
That guy's insane, man.
Yeah,
that guy worked 2 full-time jobs.
That was part of the story.
At the height of the pandemic.
I was like,
and
oh my god,
he would work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah,
and then he would go home, go to sleep, wake up for work at like 9, and then work until like 4 or something, and then he would nap, and he just kept doing that.
I like to think that part of that was Justin's got the Mamba mentality.
He does,
and
I agree.
I know getting to know him over your bachelor weekend, I know he's a huge Kobe fan, and hearing him describe his double job work life, I was like, yeah, that's the Mamba mentality put into a real life situation, like a person who isn't like a superstar athlete.
Yeah.
Like you can, it is proof that you can apply that sport mindset to something completely outside of sports.
Yeah, he was hungry, man. He was hungry. Anyway, I didn't want to go on a tangent about.
You just did.
About my work schedule, and then
we just did
the mom. I know. What I was trying to say was, this was literally why I was bringing up the point, was because imagine me walking around the city of San Francisco with like a massive like backpack on that it was essentially like a hiking. You remember like the hiking backpacks?
Yeah, like the backpacking backpacks.
The full-on backpacks.
Like they literally go from basically the bottom of your butt to the top of your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had not that big, but it was pretty similar to the point where those backpacks, they have, I don't know what it is. It's like a scrunchie on the top, and it kind of like, it's almost like a parachute. You can kind of pull it up and then scrunchie it to give it extra space.
Yes, I know exactly. My backpacking backpack is the same thing.
Exactly.
Same thing.
My backpack had one of those.
Oh, okay.
To the point where I could stack it a little bit bigger and just zip it up, you know, or scrunchie it down. And oh yeah.
You would walk around with it loaded.
I would walk around with it loaded because I don't know why I did this too, but I had my personal laptop, which was what I would use for school, and then I would carry my work laptop, which I would use for work, obviously. But honestly, I should just use my work laptop. It was much more powerful anyway.
Well, all I can say is we have tangented from the changing of the Wolf Webster Kylie Jenner son to this. But
well, first we started with Zendaya. And, go ahead.
But I was going to say that like I think that the Wolf name might have been, apparently Kylie says, "Oh, we just don't think that fits him." Like that's just now that we've
met him.
Now that we've gotten to know him as a baby the last few weeks, and we've been trying out Wolf as his name, we've realized, that's not him. That's not
Wolf
him.
doesn't roll off the tongue.
Wolf. It doesn't. Wolf.
It's like wolf.
But
You don't say, "Hey, wolf."
Yeah.
What are you up to? You say, "Oh, that's a wolf."
I
and
think
it ends there. You know?
but I do think that they were a little disappointed to find out that their name wasn't as unique as they thought it was.
Wolf.
Yeah, because that's people have that name.
Well, I've heard Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Puck, famous chef.
Wolfgang Halen.
Also Wolf Blitz.
My dad's gonna kill me.
Also Wolf Blitzer, the CNN reporter with white hair and glasses.
That's right. Yeah, but
also
again,
there are other people named Wolf. This is what I'm saying. I think they came up with a name that they're like, oh my god, it's like Stormy with an I. There's nobody with any sort of relevance currently in our world that I'm doing like my Mean Girls voice because I'm imagining Kylie. I'm imagining Kylie.
Yeah.
She's thinking, okay, let me come up with another name just like Stormy that is like a one of, you know? Because to me, besides Stormy Daniels, which is, you know, the porn star name.
Not a real name.
Not a real name, exactly.
I mean, maybe it is. But I doubt it, though.
That's really the only Stormy that comes to my mind. I feel like the Wolf has...
Stormy,
They felt like it wasn't as individual and unique as Stormy. Because it seems to me with the celebrity baby names, usually they're going for the uniqueness.
You know...
Because they're often weird things. Weird names.
Now that we're talking about the whole Stormy thing, did they name their child Stormy before or after that whole... thing with her and Trump.
Oh.
Because immediately
Stormy
when you say Stormy,
you think of Stormy Daniels.
I think of two things.
Yeah.
I think of Stormy Webster.
Webster.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was going to say Jennifer. Stormy Webster and Stormy Daniels. Those are the only two things that I think of when I think of Stormy. I don't even think of like, oh, there's a storm out. It's Stormy. I don't even think of that.
Now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe I'm realizing, okay, so maybe the reason for changing Wolf wasn't that it wasn't, you know, individual and unique enough. Because now we've already
honest.
I agree with you.
Maybe they liked the idea of it, but then they started saying it.
They started
like,
saying it. This sucks.
Wolf.
The wolf.
And then they want to end the sentence. I'm telling you, like
it doesn't feel like an ending to a sentence.
You don't say wolf. What are you doing? You don't say that.
You look. There's a wolf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like boom. Or you say wolves. That rolls. You can say, oh, wolves are crazy, man.
So
makes sense.
Let's come up with some new name ideas. What are we thinking? What do we think? What do we think is the right choice here? Redo. Name the baby Redo.
No, that would be terrible.
Yeah,
maybe
I'd be done with that first one.
Maybe if they're sticking with like the storm, maybe like thunder or something.
Oh, thunder.
Or like
lightning.
Lightning or something.
Lightning McQueen Webster.
I'm trying to think. Or fire. I'd be down for fire. Dude. Fire.
Ice.
What's your name? Fire Webster.
Fire Webster. Ice Webster. Yeah, let's stick with
Ice is cool.
Ice is kind of cool.
I fuck with Ice.
Ice.
I don't know. When you're trying to think of unique names, it's hard.
Names are funny because there's so many people with so many of the same names.
Yeah.
And people love to do the whole game of, oh, I saw you 5 minutes before I met you, and I thought you were going to be a Chris, but you ended up being a John, or whatever. Like people like to think like, oh, that's a this or that's a this. Like I can just see a face and
fits.
It fits that name, you know.
That's true.
It's kind of weird when you meet someone who has a name that's like, wait, what? And maybe that, as dumb as it is to say, maybe that's what Kylie was feeling. She's walking around saying baby wolf this, baby wolf that, and she's looking at him and she's like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the resemblance here.
If that's what happened,
I hope that's what happened.
I honestly respect that they said it's just not working out.
It's just not working. Yeah,
exactly. Rather pull the trigger now than in, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah, do it now when the baby's still not forming memories.
Like, doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So, you know what? It's not that weird. Some people have babies and they don't have a name until
like
later on. It's not a unheard of thing, you know? Like they can't decide.
Now I just thought of all the parents that have like a deadline. They're like, all right, first birthday. When he or she blows out that first candle, we are going to say happy first birthday, and we're going to say the name.
And just whatever comes to mind.
Like, we're just going to go. That would actually be kind of a fun way to name a kid.
It would.
Like first birthday, the mom and the dad agree on, okay,
Yeah.
you're getting middle name, I'm getting first name or whatever.
Yeah. Ooh,
and then you both say happy birthday.
Boom. And
boom.
then the other person has to say boom.
Yeah.
Like right after.
Right after, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. I feel like you need to name them a little earlier than 1 year old though, you know.
Are they forming memories before one?
Dude, kids are complicated. Babies at this point.
Do you remember?
That just went limp.
Yeah, it did. Do you remember what's like your first memory? If you had to pick one, because to me, I don't think you start really getting them down till like 2 or 3.
No, that's true. You won't have long-term memories, but I feel as if when it comes to a baby learning what it's called, it's really important to start doing it early. It's like with a dog too, you know. I mean, not that I want to relate humans to dogs, but it's got to be somewhat similar, you know.
Because the dog is kind of always in baby brain, and that they're never going to speak English, but you can still get them to like early understand this is your name.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, my earliest memory, I can't even think of it, dude. Honestly, I mean. Only ones I'm thinking of are like when I'm like 4 playing soccer or something. Yeah.
Well, that counts.
But that's only because I know I did that back then.
So
you know,
you can't. Can you name like?
It's not just like a random like.
You can't name like a specific event, like earliest memory event. Okay.
I remember being scared as a child of the monster in my closet. Don't know how old I was though, dude. I remember staring at my closet. It's nighttime.
Pitch black.
Staring at pitch black. Staring at my closet, and I can.
You're talking about your big walk-in closet, right? That you had in your room. As a kid?
No, this was back when I shared a room with Rory.
Oh shit!
Which is actually the office now.
Oh, you shared you shared that room with Rory?
Yeah.
The office, you shared that room with Rory?
Yep.
What were the 2 upstairs rooms that you and Rory ended up getting?
Guest room, and it was my dad's office before.
Oh,
yeah. My room was my dad's office, and then we just had a guest room.
And Rory's.
Rory's room was the guest room.
Okay, wow, interesting. I never knew that.
Yep, and then I remember staring at this closet, and I could literally see the outline of a monster. And I don't know why. It's just, I was just petrified. Isn't it crazy?
I bet you could. Like, as your childhood brain was probably creating, like,
dude, your mind is insane.
Yeah, it can do so much.
Yeah. I feel like I watched Monsters, Inc. and somehow just...
Yeah, that would translate pretty
well. Had like a negative...
Because that movie was honestly sort of... Being a kid's movie about monsters hiding in kids' closets, that was
true.
That was nightmare fuel for sure.
That is true.
Yeah. And do you remember the villain with the guy? It was he was kind of the snake.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he was
like Lex or something, right?
He was like black.
Crazy. No, he's purple. He's purple.
I thought he was purple. He was black. I thought he was black. I thought he was a black snake.
What did you just say? He's purple snake.
He was a purple snake?
Yeah. Well, he was like a chameleon. He would
he would change colors. He would change colors. That's what it was. Okay. Because I remember him being like...
Pretty sure standard was purple, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
His starting form? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which was his first evolution.
Yeah. No, but he was terrifying. And even... But then I guess they made it kind of like more for kids with the whole like Mike Wazowski and the big blue guy being friendly, but also monsters.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, it's like, why wasn't that guy winning?
You know who's the most scariest? That's not a good way to describe it, or that's not how you say most scariest.
Who was the
most scary? Was I don't know, what do you even call her? The teller or the lady that would check in?
Yes, the lady who slammed Mike Wazowski's fingers down. Dude,
that lady creeped me out.
I used to always have to look away at that part.
Yeah.
I'd look away at the Mike Wazowski finger slam.
She was like so gross, not to be mean. I don't know why I'm apologizing for calling a monster
an animated gross monster. Yeah, no.
Hey, it's 2022, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You never know.
Yeah, but no, she was scary, and that was one of the movie scenes I remember walking out of the room on.
Okay, kids' names. I was gonna say that I feel like some parents, they want to wait until they see their baby to choose a name.
Maybe that's the moment where you do the whole we both say a name at the same time. We go first and
right,
middle.
Right when the baby's like
right
cleaned
when the baby
off.
like cleans off, you get the baby handed.
Yes.
Look, it's
Jordan.
It's Jack. It's
Jordan.
Erica. It's Christina. It's Bella. It's
Wolf.
It's
Do you know what I'm gonna?
God, there's so many names. Oh,
it's so stupid. I always talk about this. Where do all the last names come from?
Dude, I've always thought this too. Oh,
Who?
look at that giant dog. Holy shit, that's a big dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where do all the last names come from?
No, seriously. I mean, I think about it all the time.
I think a lot of the last names are people like getting someone. No, okay, well, actually, I'm not even gonna say that
like
because I was gonna say like that Solo that scene in the Han Solo prequel movie where he's like oh, well, what's your last name? Like who's your family? Like what's your family name? That's like what the space soldier says to Han Solo.
Yeah.
And Han is like, oh yeah, I don't have a family. It's just Han. And then the guy's like, oh, Solo. And then you're just like, oh my God, you're like, hit me over the head with it, why don't you? Jesus. But that's kind of like, I don't know.
That's kind of cool though.
I can see it being things like that. Like you go back as far as your family begins, and you just have a moment where like a guy named Jack or something picks up a rock and fucking hurls it over the castle wall. And then some other dude's like, holy shit, you're a rock thrower. And then it's Jack Rock Thrower.
Yeah.
And then it from there it changes slightly. Like you go like 100 years from there, the person's looking at their last name, they're like, oh shit, they're like Rock Thrower. Everybody. You fast forward 100 years from when Jack throws that rock, his great granddaughter Jacqueline, his great granddaughter Jacqueline is
Rocklin.
Like Rock Thrower. I don't like that. Let's just do Rock Throw.
And then boom.
It becomes that. And then
it's two. Now there's two last names.
And then you just that's the way I see it. It's just history has changed and evolved the last names. Like I wouldn't be surprised, like my last name Racobs, it's just Jacobs but with an R. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but who started Racobs?
But this is what I'm saying.
It doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't be surprised if the origin was something like, oh, like you guys are friends. That's Jacobs. Who you're, and then he has some association like this. Let's say that's like, oh,
you Racobs.
It's Rick and Jimmy. And Jimmy's from the Jacobs, but Rick just came out of the forest. We don't even know who Rick comes from.
Call him Racobs.
Yeah, exactly. Call him Racobs because he's friends with Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. I mean,
but it's just like you really don't know.
I feel like no, you don't. This is what I think. I think there was a time in history where your names, you could be whoever you wanted to be type vibe, because back in the day, nobody was tracking anything. You didn't have an ID card.
Yeah, you didn't have it. You didn't have the computers, the written records. You didn't have anything.
I feel like people. This is what I think. I think that there was a lot of, I don't know, I guess name changing back in the day because you wanted to get away from your past, maybe.
Yeah.
But just imagine how easy it would be. All you got to do.
Imagine how easy it would be to commit a crime here and then go here and be totally
and change your name. And boom.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Dude, I mean, this is a recent concept where like, you can't really move away without people being able to figure out who you were. It's like from the 2000s on. I mean, even in like the 70s and 80s, like police weren't even tracking that type of stuff.
Yeah, I really think it wasn't until probably, if I had to guess, maybe late 20s, early 30s, that we started like...
Late 20s, early 30s? What do you mean?
1920s, 1930s.
Oh, 1920s, 1930s, what?
Like around that time, like when we started like keeping like records, like keeping track of... Like,
paper trails.
Like,
sure.
Yeah, creating paper trails.
But even then, how are you going to share the paper trails to another town?
Even then it was really hard. Yeah, even then it was really hard. Yeah.
You can't do it.
And who knows, there might have been paper trails in like 1870, but you go so far out of the paper trail that you've created that you're chilling again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because that paper has to now travel to that location. Yeah.
And it's like, what if I shoot the dude delivering it and then bury him in the desert?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that too.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like there's just so many. It's like life was, but it's funny how life continues to get easier and harder in different ways.
Easier and harder in different ways. Oh, yeah.
As dark as it is to say, as messed up as it is to say, it was way easier to get away with crime 300 years ago than it is now. But it was
exponentially in the 70s.
But it was way easier but it's now easier to live till 40 than it was 300 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just as time goes on, certain things become easier, certain things become harder.
Absolutely. Damn. Absolutely. Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. you see on Netflix and stuff, all these serial killer, blah, 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 blah. Dude, these were not long ago when they would just travel to another
state and just start again.
Or even a city.
Yeah.
Like, there was the Golden State Killer or whatever.
Golden State Killer, yeah.
All he was doing was traveling within California, just different counties. And they were never able to sort of link up the evidence. I mean, in this case, they didn't know who the guy was.
Yeah.
But still, it's like you get a little suspicion here, you go over there, you get a little suspicion there, you move over here.
Dude, it's crazy.
The guy got away with it for like 70 years.
Think about
he was like 7 years old before he got caught.
Think about how big the world is.
Uh-huh.
And how small each person is.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And that's kind of where you get... Like, that's why people get away with shit.
Think about that, but think about how many freaking people there are here.
Yeah.
Just think, isn't it? It's two ways to look at it.
Yeah,
You're like, think about how big the world is.
But think about all that desert we were driving through to get to Arizona.
Yeah.
Think about all the shit that's gone out in the desert, like that people just don't know about.
Don't even get me started on the Colorado River, man, and how they put golf courses out there.
Yeah.
Like, we were just driving through, and there's like
this is actually
these mountains, and they're all red from the iron, according to Sam. And all of a sudden, you pass this like little mountain, and there's a bunch of palm trees, and there's a golf course, and it's all maintained, and it's growing grass and green, and that stuff's not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there. And it's actually crazy how they've made a life out of living out there. I mean, it's insane. Like, who was the person that started a town in Arizona? Like, who was the person? They're out of their mind. They're out of their mind.
Someone who was okay with being alone for a while, probably.
Yeah.
Being lonely.
Dude, I'm actually I'm not reading a book, but I'm listening to a book. I bought this audiobook.
Yeah.
It's called Empire of the Summer Moon.
Wow.
It's about the Comanches and the Wild West in like the 1800s. And it is really, really interesting because this band of Indians basically fought off imperialism for decades just by mastering the horse and bow and arrow, and literally migrating with the bison or buffalo. It's insane, man. It's insane.
We talk about the lack of like rules back in like 300 years ago, or just in terms of our, like, in human history, there's been more time of like, lawless violence than there has been of like lawful society. Like, we as humans, we've experienced, it seems like there's been more time of lawless violence compared to lawful society. Well, we've had way more in the lawless violence than 100%. The lawful society. And I think, like, now that we've become so lawful and so societal and so, like, just kind of, we like to just live a long time, like we like safety first, kind of like that's sort of become like the general good person idea of like, safety first,
people dying bad.
I want to live a long time. Like, this is like, I see like the only way we could ever go from where we are now back to the whole senseless, lawless violence. And this is my transition here. A zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's the only way I see us going back to I can murder you right now and get away with it.
You know what I'd love to see in...
That's like apocalypse level. That's like everything has hit the fan. No more rules. Society has been crumbled. 100%. Zombies roam the earth. 100%. Any of us who have seen a zombie show or a zombie movie, we know that that's a society now where there's no more rules and where I can shoot you and take your food and nobody's going to do anything about it.
It's kind of it reminds me of Bird Box.
Yes.
Kind of like where you have those people that are crazy that are just kind of I mean, it's a little different, but
it's a similar thing where like we said with the whole COVID thing, where in that we weren't able to.
What do you mean?
Remember how we said like it would take like the threat of an alien species lasering our entire planet to unite everybody.
100%. Yeah.
With zombies, it'd be sort of I think it would be kind of an opposite effect, because it would be like COVID, something where not everybody buys into it first, and then suddenly your grandma's a zombie biting your neck off. You know what I'm saying? Like we had that, but we had it with a more realistic disease like COVID, where it acts and gives you the symptoms of a cold, like all the heaviest symptoms of a cold, you know, compared to turns you into a bloodthirsty, ravenous monster. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So we weren't. I think that like
it would happen in a very similar way. I think yeah.
Exactly.
You're
like
right.
if COVID had been a zombie apocalypse, like we would have, you know, gotten kind of screwed in it, and like we were lucky enough to have COVID be what it was, because if it was something like a zombie infection, then we probably would be, you know, living in a Mad Max world at this point.
I think so. And to go back to your point about the whole zombie apocalypse thing, and you talking about murder, and that's sort of the point at which, you know, we've lost it. What I like to see in those type of movies or TV shows is when you see a sort of society or community build up, and it's kind of like dictator-ish. Yeah. Or like almost like a monarchy,
kind of like with the governor in the season 3 of Walking Dead.
Yeah. So I like to see that, because the default for humans since forever in majority of our civilizations has been
to turn to one person.
Has been dictatorship or monarchy.
Yeah.
The idea of like democracy and, you know, mutual government, I don't know, that's not the right way to describe it, but that's like a new thing, you know. It hasn't been around for a while. I mean, 300, 400 years. So I like to see when, you know, quote unquote, shit hits the fan, zombie apocalypse. Yeah. When we immediately revert back to
just,
well, he has leader? The answers, this person, or to protect them at all costs, they'll save us, something like that, you know. I love to see it.
That's probably what would happen, though.
And ironically,
you would have a bunch of different, like, you would go from having 50 states, or, you know, however many countries there are in the world. You'd go from that to
217.
Okay, there we go. You'd go from 217 countries.
I'm gonna look that up.
You know, you'd go from 217 countries in the world to probably 217,000 different communities run by one dictator, you know, governor character from The Walking Dead.
Dude, you gotta start watching C.
Oh, the Jason Momoa.
They all lose their...
Isn't Dave Bautista in the second season?
Dave Bautista's in the second season. They're brothers. No, 220 plus countries and territories in the world.
Yeah, so that would turn into something like probably 220,000 communities, depending on how we did like against the zombies, like how many humans are left compared to how many zombies and stuff like that.
I think in order for society to completely fall, it would have to be pretty bad.
Oh, it'd have to be really. It'd have to be so like it'd have to be. Here's the thing. The biggest question I've always had whenever you watch a zombie movie or TV show, when you get to the point in your movie or TV show that the zombies have taken over and it's now an official zombie apocalypse, I've always wondered, okay, so clearly the spread of the disease moved quicker than all our militarization did.
Well,
like we weren't able to get our military to the correct spaces quick enough to keep it from spreading to the point where we showed up to this spot and we were so late that we got overrun quicker than you could say overrun. And also, there's also the big thing of what kind of zombies are they? Are they World War Z zombies? Because
those are different.
Like
those would fuck us up. We would be screwed.
I can believe the military failing in a movie like World War Z. But it was harder to swallow with a show like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, but you learn in season 3 why that happened.
You do. Yeah, you do.
Do I need to
I don't remember. But,
okay, I'm going to spoil it for everyone. Yeah. The reason that happened was because nobody knew that they were infected already. But remember, they were infected with the disease, and then they die, and then they turn into a zombie.
I forgot. That's the thing. They're already all infected. It's
so
in the
probably...
air. Yeah.
Majority of the population was already infected. I mean, imagine COVID.
Yeah.
Imagine you only get COVID, but you don't die. Nothing happens to you. You just get COVID.
And then when you die, you become a zombie.
So imagine COVID, but nobody knowing they had COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
Imagine how fast it would have spread throughout the world.
Yeah. Okay. Now I can see that. Okay. Yeah.
And you'd have, of course, small cases here and there where someone has it and then they die from another cause. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, what the hell is that? You know? And by that time, it's too late, you know?
Dude, that's the other...
Or you think it's hearsay. You're like, oh, there's no way.
No way.
You know? Or it's a conspiracy, that type of thing.
But that's what would kill... and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what would kill a lot of the people. People wouldn't buy into it. People would be like, no fucking way.
And that's how it gets everywhere. That's the only... I mean, it's the only way that it makes sense for a show like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you think about it also, you're like, okay, I could kick some serious ass in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, but then a zombie apocalypse.
Well, then yeah,
you'd be fine.
But then you think about it like this though. You're like, okay, but wait a second. If there's that many zombies and the world has literally collapsed to like we failed, like we weren't able to stop the spread, and we're done. Society's crushed. Like, we got to start over basically.
Well, everyone has it.
But if it got to that point, you're probably already dead though. Like mathematically. Like you're probably not one of the survivors. Like because we like to say, man, I would tear it up in a zombie apocalypse. You know, I'd get my M16, my this, my that, and I would get my truck and I'd just wreck shit. But it's more than likely that you don't get to the point of being okay. Shit is officially in the fan. We're now locking and loading. You've probably already died up until that point. Yeah. Just by based of numbers. Because in order for it to get that bad to where I can just shoot someone and get away with it, it has to be so significant that the majority of the population has died.
Well, we like to think of it in terms of, I would totally do fine because I would know what to do and I would be prepared.
Exactly.
But you don't. If that shit happens, it's like imagine. Okay, if I were to turn into a zombie, right now, zombie.
Yeah, right now,
it'd be like Amanda doing it to me, and like, what do I do? You know, I don't have any guns in the house. I don't have things like that. Plus, it's Amanda. She's coming towards me. I'm like, what are you doing? I get bit, and all of a sudden, I'm dead.
Yeah, your first instinct is to be like, oh, what's wrong?
It's like, your family.
Like, go up to her and see what's wrong, and then she bites the fuck out of you, and you're screwed.
And then that's two of them.
Yeah, there's so many. Exactly. And that's why it would be one of those things where it'd just be totally random, to the point where I don't even think it'd be a matter of like, man, I knew this was coming from the beginning. I took A, B, C, D steps to get to this point right now where I'm able to talk to you as a survivor. It'd more be like, I just kind of lucked into this.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It'd be lucky. I didn't even mean to make it this far,
You'd
but
have
I did.
Like, be away from majority of people you're close to.
Yeah, like
for a while.
A good example is Rick getting put into that coma in the beginning and then waking up past after everything's finished. That's kind of the perfect example of, okay, that's sort of the lucky scenario you would need to just fall into being alive in a zombie apocalypse.
What a great intro. What a great start.
Great start of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With having
wake up from a coma.
Wake up and what the fuck? Yeah. That's I mean,
was that why he didn't get bit? Because they thought he was dead? Because he wakes up and everything's deserted already. Is that why he didn't get bit?
You mean why he was still there?
No, he was still there because he was in a coma.
Yeah, that's why he was still there.
But why didn't he get bit? Because the entire hospital has been run down by zombies.
So you're saying that zombies like walked through his room and sensed a dead body and just left? And
I don't know. I'm saying, is that why? You know, because when he walks out, it's like deserted, right?
Was he teetering?
Imagine. Was he really hungry? Is that why he woke up?
Because he's got the disease. Because you find out everybody's got the disease.
Yeah.
So you think about it. I wonder if a comatose person with the Walking Dead disease already in them, do they give off a sense of, that's a zombie?
Ooh, probably.
You know, because the other zombies smell that, and they smell the disease on the person. They also smell that the person's in a coma. Is that enough to be a concoction of, I'm smelling a zombie, I'm not going to eat that person?
You know,
I think we just justified that whole opening. I think we did.
I think we just, described Hollywood. That sounds right.
Yeah, you justify your writing.
Exactly.
By creating another little branch, saying, okay, well, that's that. Okay, but we got to at least go into what would be.
All right, let's do it.
What your preferred weapon? I'm going to give you get a melee and you get a gun for the zombie apocalypse. What are you doing? Melee and gun, one of each. What are you doing?
Oh, melee or gun?
No, not or. I should have said melee and gun. One of each. What are you doing?
Oh man, that's that's so good. I mean, unlimited ammo. Like, what's my?
No. You got to go realistic. You got to go like a real gun, a real melee, like something you could put together.
Like something I might be able to find.
Something you could potentially find at like a Big Five that's been abandoned or a gun store that's been abandoned. You know.
I'm going M4.
Nice.
Because I've had an M4 airsoft rifle before.
And that thing was.
It was all right, but I feel like I know.
You know how to work it.
Generally, I would not shoot myself on accident or shoot the ground.
You could get it to
and
fire.
I know the sights. I know the aim down sights. I know,
And it's just a solid assault rifle, you know?
And it's a common assault rifle that I think I could find around here. As far as a melee weapon, oh, man, I kind of want to go katana.
Yeah, like Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Only because you want it light.
Yes.
You want it really light, and you want something really sharp that can just...
Also something that will likely not get jammed inside the zombie's corpse.
Right, like something I'm thinking of, maybe like an axe. That, I don't know. I feel like that would... You'd hit it, and it wouldn't go all the way through, and you'd have to shimmy it out.
Yeah.
And, I always see the...
but you're
bats with like nails it and stuff.
That would get stuck into.
Yeah.
You're imagining the katana being so smooth and sharp that you could just go in and
out.
Come out.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get that. Then you could also have it easily in a holster around your side with the M4 on a shoulder strap. So you got the gun on your shoulder and then you got the sword on your side. That's a nice combo.
Right. Yeah, I think I'd go with that, honestly.
I'm going to go MP5.
Ooh, nice.
Drum mag, if I can find that. If I can manage it, I'll let you get a drum mag too.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know we were throwing attachments in there.
Put a drum mag on. Just put a drum mag.
Give me an ACOG.
Yeah.
ACOG scope.
I mean, you really don't. You just need a drum. You just need a little more ammo. Just a little bit more ammo. So, yeah, add the drum mag on the MP5, and then I think I'm going to go with... I got to go. I got to do it. Aluminum baseball bat.
Good shout. Good shout.
It's so you eliminate the wood and you eliminate the nails.
Yep.
And that kind of prevents breaking of any kind. And that's a very light. You get a lot of pop on that. You get a lot of good swings on that.
I 100% agree.
So yeah, I'm doing baseball bat MP5.
And it's sturdy, man. I mean, you're not gonna break that thing.
Yeah. And
something like a golf club. You get 10 swings on that.
You played t-ball baseball as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
You remember how hard you could swing those things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you were a kid swinging that thing. Imagine as a grown-ass man, you could swing the fuck out of that thing. Holy shit.
Dude, I can't believe they use wood.
In professional? Professional, I know, it's crazy.
It's insane. Those things are so heavy.
They're so heavy. And also...
And they don't even hit far.
The reverb that you get on your hands as you're hitting a ball on that wood, it's just like... That's why those dudes are so... Like, their arms are so big, and they just hammer out home runs.
They need shock resistance.
And that's another reason why they don't use the metal aluminum bats in professional baseball. Because
it's OP.
It's OP.
You'd have to have a stadium twice as big.
The guys are so huge that they'd just be ripping it out.
They probably used to do that, and then they made a stadium so big to where it was hard to hit a home run, and then you couldn't throw it. Like the outfielder couldn't throw it back.
Couldn't get it to first base. Yeah, I feel it. Whoa.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, we
all
just got some.
You ready to call this
buzzers.
or what?
Oh,
I don't even know what time we're at. But
yeah, no, we're good. All right, well, episode 115, we've covered
that was
everything.
A wild ride.
We've covered everything from zombies, like I said we would, to names, so on and so forth.
To wolf, to...
Thanks for listening, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace out.
Peace.